weren't it weren't a thing of I'm never doing this again because I don't want to lose again. It's I'm never going to lose again.
Yeah.
We're going to do everything we can to get the W.
Did you hear that, True? We're coming for it next year.
I told him, well, anyway, my Instagram post said it. I'm coming for a trophy. I'm coming back for the trophy. Which is good though, because it's not guaranteed. So in not winning, we can only level up. So welcome back, everybody. I'm Mr. Gavin Cameron. This is the How Did You Do It podcast. I'm here with Kalisha. Today we're going to be talking all things award shows. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here again with me, Callie.
Always welcome.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah, I'm right. How are you?
Well, hey, I'm not bad. Not bad. I'm good. So what you got for me? What do you want to know today? You're going to talk award shows.
Yes, I want to know what it means to you to become a finalist, to be nominated, and to win an award. Because I do know that Carbine Guru did win an award last year.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you? And tell me about the story and the whole, from the start of being nominated up into the award show.
The start of just being involved in awards in general for me was something I didn't really think about when starting a business. And when you start networking and you start hearing it's actually a thing for like business awards is actually quite a big thing. And then started working with my business coach Daniela, and she started talking about personal branding, and she introduced me to her friend True Powell, and True obviously he runs MBCC awards, and just seeing him going about winning awards, I was like, I want some of that. You know what I mean?
I want that recognition.
Yeah, I want trophies.
He looks special. I looked at his Instagram page.
I called him Mr. Birmingham because I swear, what year are we in? 2021? So I'd say 2019. Every week it felt like he was winning an award. And that was inspiring for me. I'm like, yeah, I want some of that. So I actually put on my vision board, it might have been 2018 even, I put on my vision board that I wanted to be involved with the Birmingham Business Awards, I think it was. I can't remember. But I just took the logo and stuck it on my vision board. And we actually got nominated that year.
For that same award?
For the same award, yeah. It was a bit crazy.
That's the power of vision boards.
I'm telling you. I'm trying to maintain that focus. And so I've recently done a new vision board. But stuff like that, it works. So we did that. We got nominated for that, and then kind of lost the hunger for an award for a bit. And then we
why were you focused on something else? Like, what made you not be like, this is not a focus to me right now?
It was building the business was the focus, and just trying to just survive, because like we discussed last week, it weren't like I made hundreds of thousands of pounds. So a trophy is all great and all the rest of it, but when my son needs new trainers, I can't take the trophy to JD and swap them for a pair of Jordans. You know
what do you mean? Why not?
It just doesn't work apparently.
Just walk around with it?
Yeah. It just didn't work.
Me?
So yeah, with that, I just kind of used the whole drive of trying to build a business as my main force, and then that's where my focus switched. And I'll say last year, a Black-owned economy group on Facebook started, and they started talking about they wanted to do an award show and blah blah blah. And my ears pricked up again. I was like, okay, this one sounds all right. We might actually have a good chance in it, because when we were posting, we was getting a lot of good feedback from people just talking about the services we were providing and all the rest of it. Got a couple clients off there as well, and built a bit of a buzz in that community. And we got nominated. And did I tell you? I think I might have spoke about it last week. But the moment we got nominated, I was on the phone.
Yeah. Like, it's a good story. You should tell it though.
Yeah. So basically, the nomination came through at like stupid o'clock in the morning. I think it was like 2 a.m. And I was on a video call, and the notification popped up on my phone. This Facebook notification, some Black-owned economy saying congrats. All you saw was like the first line. It said, "Congratulations, you have." And whatever was being said to me, I couldn't hear it. It's like I was just like, yes, this is it. We've done it. So,
I've made it.
Yeah, like I did really feel like that. And then so yeah, we've been nominated. The conversation I was having kind of took a break. I was like, I've been nominated. Like, we've made it to the finals of the Black-owned economy awards, and it's kind of like, why are you so excited? No one got my excitement. and I went into our WhatsApp group for the company, that my team. It's stupid o'clock, no one was awake. Don't ask me why I sent it at that time. And I sent them the link showing them that we was in the final. And I said, I want to win this. And that was it. I had I had to win that award because it was the first time we was in the position to really win something. And the fact that it was, last year was an emotional year. It's the first time we've seen such a rise for just black people in general, and the conversations that were being had about black businesses and all the rest of it. So to be able to win an award at that time by a group that was basically people, it weren't just black people, just black business. It was about black business. So we weren't winning it for anything other than being a good black business, as far as I was concerned, or black-owned business, should I say.
And being a part of that, like, did you feel more supported? Did you feel like anything changed after winning that award? Or was it kind of like, it was just a continuation? Like, you already felt that support from the black community as to, why you originally got nominated?
I think I was confident, or to be honest, I weren't confident. I was determined to win it, or I felt we should have won it, or we deserved to win it because of the support we had up until the point of being nominated.
Okay.
So I was just like, look, I need us to win this. It's because we was getting that much support, that much encouragement. They had us on like Instagram lives. I was getting invited to do interviews and all this sort of stuff. Like there was just a buzz. I think because a lot of people were sat in their house.
Nothing better to do.
Yeah, nothing better to do. So yeah, we got a lot of support prior to winning the award. And then when the actual votes were going on, getting loads of people reposting.
Sophia.
All right. So yeah, sorry. Set was falling apart. We're back though.
Slight malfunction.
Yeah, I know.
We're all good though.
We're back again. So yeah, during the lockdown, we just started to get a lot of recognition. It felt like we was building some great momentum. So it was just about trying to do as much as we can to achieve the goal of winning an award, basically. And it was just like I said, who was running the award, what the award was about, just meant a lot. So when the voting started, like I said, there's a lot of people voting for us, which was nice. And then unfortunately, we looked like we was kind of come out of lockdown. The government were messing with us. Oh yeah, you can go out. No, you can't. So I thought we might actually have a ceremony, which was stupid to think, because it weren't until July this year that we actually was able to go outside properly.
I think so.
Yeah, and this was in December last year, so we was a good 7 months away, and I thought it was like 7 weeks. But yeah, the ceremony didn't happen. It was virtual, but we won, and it was like a massive W for me. Just being recognised by our peers for what we do in business. So it means a lot. Like the awards thing is a big deal.
Did they at least mail you a trophy?
We got like an e-trophy. I know. I need to print off and frame it and that. And I wanted a trophy. I wanted something fundamental, but that's why I wanted to win on Saturday. Well, I wanted to win it. I want to win everything. I'm very competitive. I'm not gonna lie. I'm the sorest loser. My friend Cyril that was there on Saturday, like he takes great pleasure in messaging me when Arsenal lose. I take great pleasure in messaging when United lose as well, obviously. But like that competitive edge I have in me.
That football culture is definitely a massive British thing. Like I've been watching my friends, the way that they act when
crazy.
Just as goal gets scored. It's insane.
I used to be bad. I used to be really bad. I've cried over football.
No.
Yeah, I've definitely cried over football. 100%. I've got into real heated arguments over football. WhatsApp debates for hours over football.
Do you guys? I know we're
at my big
taking a tangent here, but do you guys have like the fantasy football teams?
Oh, I don't play that. I can't do that. I'm not good at it, and I just lose, and I've lost money. We used to put like 20 quid a year, and I said this year I'm not giving you like my money. I refuse. I ain't got the time. There's people that will sit there and they proper strategize. People take it seriously, which I don't blame them, because if I had the time, I would too. But yeah, fantasy football in itself is very serious out here.
It's very serious.
Yeah, so yeah, the competitive edge in me wanted to win on Saturday anyway, but the thought of going to the award, getting dressed up, taking the team out, taking my mum with me, all of that was amazing, and just to have a trophy would have been amazing too. But it didn't happen. I'm sure we're gonna discuss it.
But side note, you did look amazing and your mom looks fantastic.
Thank you. We try and do our best.
So, I mean, we kind of talked about, winning the previous award and, but, what does it really like mean to you? Like, what does actually winning an award, like, I know you said it really doesn't bring in dollars, doesn't do anything. So what does it actually mean to you to have an award? Like you said, is it just to put it on your mantelpiece or what does it represent to you?
Me as an individual, so that award we did win last December, 2 days later, I went to a friend's house because it was around Christmas. I went to drop him off a bottle of drink or whatever for Christmas. And the mum goes, "Oh, congratulations, by the way." I was like, "Congratulations for what? Driving here safely?" Like, I was totally confused what she was talking about. She's like, "You won an award, right?" I was like, "Oh, yeah, we did. Like, yeah, you're right. Oh, thank you." I completely forgot. It's like the second we won.
You're just that humble. You're like, yeah.
I don't even think it's humble. I'm just like that focused on the next thing.
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? So even if we had won on Saturday, I feel like it would have been a buzz, but then eventually, like within hours, days, or whatever, my mind's on to the next thing anyway.
So since you didn't win, is your mind now set to we have to win next year?
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, and buts.
100%. Yeah. There's no way I am going to be in a category and not win it again. Like, there's no way. I'll just prefer not to be there. And I don't want to sound ungrateful because it was a great experience, but that's just me. I'm being 100% real with you. Like, that's just me. I would prefer not to be there than to lose because I'm not one to say, "Oh, the judge is this," or the people that, or whatever. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We lost, and I'm the gaffer, so I've lost.
No,
really.
It's definitely a team effort. Like we are one. We're a team. We've lost. We definitely could have done more.
This is what I'm saying.
To be in that spot, to beat our competitor.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, I could have done more as well because the shit stops at my door. So yeah, it's that's how I felt, and it weren't a thing of I'm never doing this again because I don't want to lose again. It's I'm never going to lose again.
Yeah,
we're gonna do everything we can to get the W.
Did you hear that, True? We're coming for it next year.
I told him anyway. My Instagram post said it. I'm coming for a trophy. I'm coming back for the trophy, which is good though because it's not guaranteed. So in not winning, we can only level up. So we could take the L and be curled up and upset and all the rest of it, or we can be like, you know what? Okay, we see what it is. We know what we need to do. You know what I mean? You take notes. You understand what it is. First ceremony I've been to like that ever, which was amazing to be fair. And just looking around and seeing all the amazing people and just so many of my peers as well, people that knew me, people that I don't know were coming up to me and saying thank you for your services. I'm like, I don't know you. Like, oh yeah, you helped me get into this car like 4 weeks ago. Like, but it was Sean. Like one of them was Sean's customer. I said, "Are you sure you didn't speak to Sean?" Because she told me what car it was, and I remember the car. And yeah, it was one of Sean's customers. But that in itself was amazing. And seeing quite a few of our clients in the room of such high prestige as well within the community, just shows us the level we're at. Yeah. So next time we're in there, there's going to be more of our clients in the room. And we're going to get the W conversation. That's not an issue. But I don't know if we can be a sponsor and win an award, so we're going to have to choose one between the two. Yeah. I want the award first. when we've won, then we can give them some money on the back end. If we give them money up front, it's just going to look like we didn't deserve it. And we just bought a trophy.
We just want the trophy.
Yeah,
any means necessary.
Nah, not that. I'm not paying for it. I prefer to lose. Oh but yeah, it's just crazy. Just being a part of it and made me realize how far we've come. Because I used to just see that sort of stuff on the internet. You see the pictures now, because that's the thing. People will be looking at pictures and all the rest of it now and seeing what was there, and to know that we was part of that spectacle and the company name was on the final list, was in the book, etc. It's a pretty big deal.
So how did it come about? How did you guys, get nominated and become finalists for this award? How is the story for this?
So, like I said, I know True, who's the events director. He's got nothing to do with the voting or anything, as far as I know. But we go to the same barber. He goes to my barber. Let me put it on record.
Your barber. You set him up. You make sure he looks fresh.
I found King Fades first. We got King Fades. We got Casey. And he asked me, long story short, he asked me who my barber is, and that's now his barber. So in the summer, I was there getting my hair cut, and he walks in, and he said, I think it's just a general chit chat, what you've been doing. He said, oh, I'm starting to work on the award show. I better see a nomination from you, is what he said to me. And my thing was true. I can't like, we can't be involved, because if I don't win, I know me. And I said to you, if I don't win, I'm not going to take it well.
You're going to burn the whole place down.
I have to win. That's what I said to people, like, if we don't win, I'm turning over tables and all sorts. In my head, I did that on Saturday, but
I know your face, your blank face.
I don't. It's not. Yeah, losing ain't nice. But yeah, he said to me, just like, he wants to see a nomination, is what he said. And then I was, okay, whatever. Then somehow we got nominated, and then I was like, okay, shit, we're nominated.
It's real now.
You got to vote to win. And I waited for ages, because again, the thing with social media and the internet is that once people know, everybody knows. And I didn't want to not get, like, it's bad enough going to the final. I don't know what's worse, not making it to the final or getting to the final and not winning.
Well, the way that they explained how the actual, like, it was chosen. So to become a finalist, social media decided for you. It was all votes.
So my thing was, if you don't get enough votes, you're not even good enough to make it to the top 5 or whatever it was.
Yeah, the top 6.
That for me.
That would have hurt.
That would have hurt. But we went through it anyway.
Yeah.
And we got into the final. And then it was like, that was it. We was going to the show, and then from then I was like, I want to take everyone involved. I wanted to take my mum to the ceremony just to show her that world, because I don't really talk to my mum about work. I try and keep the two separate, because when I'm around my family, I like to not be in work mode. But because of the progress we've made, and no one's really done what I'm doing in the family, it's like, that's all they want to talk about. So I just, you know what I mean? I just want to be a son. But
How proud was your mom though?
I heard her on the phone yesterday saying that she was walking on cloud 9, even though I lost and all the rest of it. She was super proud. Like, yeah, it was a nice moment, to be fair, just having her there. So yeah, that's all I was thinking about. And then I started thinking, like, maybe we can win this. And then that became a thought process as well. But yeah, it was literally just getting nominated, getting people to vote. Whoever had the most votes got down to the final, and that's how we got there.
So what do you think? So I know we had talked about it. It was very much a community event. So what could we do for next year to get us into that spot so that we could be that next level community? Like, we're out there with the community, like the person that had won, as they stated in their speech, how much they had done. So what is our next steps to match or exceed that?
I think we will exceed it. The aim is to, and it's not, this is the thing. I want to make it quite clear, it's not for the award. So even if we don't get nominated, let alone make it to the final next year, we've been in the process of doing stuff regarding sickle cell for at least 12 months now. So for me, I think the biggest lesson that's come from Saturday is that I need to do, from a personal perspective, I need to do as much as possible to push forward on certain things. So, for example, we did a blood drive in October. Beginning of October, we did a blood drive at Legacy Centre in Birmingham, where we got people from the Black community to give blood, which is something that has never happened before. Not at that place anyway, and not within the community of Birmingham like that. If you're from the UK and you know Birmingham, you know that there's a hell of a lot of Black people in a small concentrated area. So it's mind blowing. And obviously donating blood is something that doesn't happen often enough in the Black community. And then you look at things like the sickle cell issue within our community, and the fact that they need blood transfusions just to stay alive, basically. So all these things I was learning through lockdown. When it got to the end of 2020, I was like, look, this is something I want to do. This is something I want to do as part of our community outreach as a business. I got in touch with a business clinic in Jamaica, where they need help doing blood donations. And we're going to donate money for every card that we sell to the clinic in Jamaica, just to these people who can't afford a blood test. to be able to get a blood test to see what's wrong with them, let alone fix what's wrong.
And how expensive is a blood test in Jamaica?
It's ridiculous. It's like, I think it worked out to like £6 per blood test.
Oh, wow.
But they need to be doing a certain amount per month to justify having the machinery in this clinic. So it's going to cost quite a bit per month. But with the right push and if we do things we plan to do, then we'll be able to do it. So we've been working with Jenica from My Friend Jen for about a year now. Just to get the first blood drive done was a lot of hard work, but a bit frustrating because those are the sort of things we're doing, but it goes unseen because of the amount of red tape that's around doing that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if we bought some sandwiches and gave them out to the community, we can do that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is a little bit different because we're working with people like the NHS, blood transfusion, and they've got a load of red tape and you've got to send 500 emails just to get one blood drive done on a Sunday afternoon in Birmingham. So for me, yeah, it's just about going harder. It's a cause that I think is important. It's a cause that we need to push, and we just need to work harder to make it happen. So we can make a difference, but also we can win that award.
100%. We're coming back for it.
Yeah. So that's what I think. I think just making the whole point with Sickle Cell, because we've been working with Jen on some podcasts, as you know. I'm recording a podcast. They'll be coming out in January. Again, just to highlight the issues within our community with Sickle Cell. Been talking to the Legacy Centre about doing other events to raise awareness with health of Black people and within our community. And there's loads in the process. But congratulations to the winner, because they're doing what they're doing. And like I said, if anything, it's inspiring to know that the efforts we're looking to put in, or the efforts we've been starting to put in to our community, are the sort of things that are recognised on such a prestigious platform as well. So it's not a waste of time.
No, honestly, it was amazing to see all of the people that were there, the platform that they had given them based on, what they did within the community and what each winner and even the people within like each category was doing for the community, which is amazing that, that so many people are, spending so much time and effort to create a better community for all of us.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, massive respect to True, because I know him on a quite a personal level, and I know how much some of the stuff that was discussed on the day means to him. I know what he's trying to do as far as raising awareness on certain things. So it's not surprising that the platform was based around that. And it was so obvious that my friend Cyril that was there, he didn't know anything. He was just coming to an award show, and within about half an hour, he said to me, "This is community based, right?" And I said, "Yeah, that's what it is." So yeah, it's just like you said, it's good to see so many people doing what they're doing. B, the fact that, like I said, we've been working behind the scenes building what we're doing with the Sickle Cell, and to know we're going in the right direction, looking at our peers and what they've managed to achieve, being further down that line, and just someone that I know to be able to put on such an amazing event and to be a part of it was also special as well. So yeah, massive.
Big up. We'll be there next year.
I think basically, again, I know the person that put the thing together, and when it comes to the whole Black Lives Matter movement, True was very much a spokesperson, if you like, for Birmingham.
So, but do you think this whole event was to push the agenda of, keeping the speech alive about, like the racial injustice and that what we're feeling?
I think all right, so just a bit of a backstory. It'd be good to get him on here to discuss it. But True's family was affected. Basically, what happened to George Floyd, something similar happened to one of his cousins. I think he mentioned it on the night. So I feel like every time True wakes up, part of his day is about pushing this conversation forward. So for him to be given such a huge platform and to be able to do whatever the hell he wants, it doesn't surprise me that was part of the conversation. There's various elements to it. So to go back to what Sophia was saying, if the room was just Black people, I think personally, I can't speak for the event organisers or anyone else, but I think personally the conversation should have been even louder, because I don't think it's a conversation that necessarily needs to be had with other races. as much as it needs to be had amongst ourselves. So I think it was, I was that focused on our category that a lot of the conversation went over my head. If I'm being 100% real, like I didn't really take in as much as what you guys may have seen and heard regarding the conversation of Black Lives Matter and all the rest of it. But for me, the main thing I took in was that there's a lot of black-owned businesses in there. It was a room where if the news cameras are in there, they'd realise that in the West Midlands, where I think coming from London and growing up in London versus living here, there's a stereotype that black people don't do shit with their lives up here more than anywhere else, especially the further out you go in the West Midlands. So I think it's good to, or would have been good to have only black people in there doing what we're doing, and the TV cameras to come and say, look at this, because from that perspective, it gives other races, if you like, an idea of what is possible.
But having it just completely black, would that not have skewed the narrative a little bit?
I'm not saying it should have been like that. Well, sorry, so the reason I'm saying that is because to answer Sophia's question of would the same conversation have happened if it wasn't a mixed crowd?
Right.
My answer is I don't know, but I think it definitely should have. It should have been louder. Nathan Dennis, who took the stage, was the charity sponsor. I know Nathan quite well, and he made some great points for me as far as racism goes, for the non-black members of the audience, that it's not about being not racist, it's about being anti-racist. So if you see or hear something happening that you know isn't right because you're not racist, are you going to stand up and say something? You don't have to, but if you're going to be talking with such venom that you're not a racist, then you should be anti-racist. Because without trying to sound controversial, I'm trying not to get myself cancelled on this thing, but when you talk about women and, let's say, sexual assault, for instance, I'm never going to be someone that's for the abuse of women, obviously. But am I going to be seen as a decent man if I see a woman being attacked and I just stand there and say nothing? Am I not as bad as an abuser if I just stand there and say nothing? Or if a woman's being verbally abused on public transport and I just stand there and say nothing, am I not an accomplice because I'm a man? I guess that's what Nathan was saying, and these are the conversations that I think need to be have amongst the whole community. But as a black man, speaking as a black business owner, I think we need to talk about our black-owned economy and how we can build black businesses ourselves. And Saturday was a great spectacle of that, because even though they weren't all black-owned businesses and it weren't all black winners, the room was full of black business owners that I know personally and ones that I don't even know. A lot of people, a lot of movers and shakers were in that room, and it's a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful thing.
No, there was definitely over 500 people in that room, and it was amazing to see like how many black-owned businesses there was, from small, medium to going into the enterprise level, and it really does open your eyes to see that it's not talked about as much as it should be, and that even though we had that kind of sense of community there, we do need to continue on that conversation and still have that strong sense of community outside of those awards going forward.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's an uncomfortable conversation, and I understand people might, like, of all races, will sit there and think, oh my God, we're talking about this again. But we have to. You see what I'm saying? Like the young girl that got killed by, she was a police officer that killed her when she was on the way home. We have to talk about the abuse and the sexual attacks and all the rest of it on women. So, because it's uncomfortable, it's not nice for me to hear as a man, but I know that if I see certain things happening, what I need to do because of, do you know what I mean? I know that how to protect the women in my life by, when I drop them home, make sure you drop them home. Don't leave a woman to walk home by herself and watch her walk in. But I know that because I speak to women and I understand you lot's plight as much as I can as a man, and because of what happens in the media. So as black people, we need to do the same. We need to make our voices heard.
We need to have those conversations.
And have these awkward conversations so our allies, as I like to call them, they know what to do as well, if they're willing.
100%. Like, I'm half white, half black, and just having that conversation with the white side, like my grandparents, they always go, well, we're obviously not racist, but their mannerisms and being in that old culture and how they grew up, they don't realize some of the things that they do can come off as being racist.
Racist is such a broad term, though. Like, racism, I don't like using the word. You won't hear me say racist unless if I'm saying racist, I really feel like you'll be a racist, like really, because racist to me, growing up in England, is deeper than you black this, you black that. You're just an idiot. Like, I can't even have a conversation with you.
But I think from the podcast you were watching earlier, that you kind of mentioned it, like people kind of blanket the term racist when something just seems uncomfortable or they don't want to really talk about it. They'll say, well, that's racist. When reality, it's just being rude, saying something like in a not polite manner, it being very ill-mannered, but it's not specifically racist.
Racist remarks are one thing, which again, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that's okay. Like, I just think that as a people, as black people, our bigger fight is against the systematic racism, the stuff that's going on, because we can't do nothing if we can't get over the fact that you might not get a job, no matter what your qualifications are and all the rest of it. But because they see your name on the CV and they know that you're of a Caribbean or African heritage, that happens. Like, let's not get it twisted. So how do we fix that? We can't tell the owner of a company that you have to change your ways that you've had instilled in you for over 50 years. We have to build our own companies. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's the if we're going to spend all our time arguing with people on football stands because they're making monkey chants at Raheem Sterling, we're never going to get nowhere as a people, in my opinion.
But do you think because, like with the idea of my grandparents, again, they've lived that their whole life, like that saying, you can't teach old dogs new tricks. Like, is it something where you just have to wait out the time till they're no longer in power, and the new generation that already, sees that way and already, is, for Black lives and all those different things like that, and don't consider that, like, is that something we're just gonna have to wait in game, or are we gonna have to like push it on people? Like, what is the solution?
I'm getting a bit older and I've seen the transition. So when I was younger, black people you only had the American influence on entertainment, and I put 90% of people's view on us as a people on what they see on TV and in their newspapers and the rest of it.
The propaganda.
Yeah, it's what they're fed, isn't it? We're normal human beings like everyone. There's some of us are good, some of us are bad, some of us are in the middle. No different to any other race, creed or colour, yeah? But with the entertainment thing, black entertainment was either, have it right, stolen, diluted, repackaged and sold as something else, or it just wasn't seen at all. But the problem was, 80s babies like me, when I grew up, all my friends wanted to listen to R&B, hip hop, then it was like garage and jungle and all the UK based club music. They're all in their 30s and stuff, so their kids are growing up listening to the same music my kids are listening to. In fact, their kids are more into deeper drill than I would ever have my children listen to. Do you know what I mean? Like, you go to London now. I remember living up here for so long. I remember I went to London, yeah. And I was in Watford, and I remember being at Watford Junction train station. It was late, and I was sat there, and I heard this guy talking, and it just dawned on me that I was back in London just hearing this guy talking. I could have sworn it was a black guy, and I looked up, and it was just some white dude, and it was like, I was baffled because he weren't even like, he looked like he grew up in Stonebridge. This guy looked like he was from Watford, skinny jeans, like smartly dressed, proper, what you would have seen as any guy on Watford town centre. But he was talking like he was from the hood, like he grew up around pure black boys. But that's the influence that our culture had for me, from what I saw through the 90s, the early 2000s. It's now been accepted by the younger generation. So to answer your question, I feel that it's slowly washing out these racist and prejudiced and ignorant people from past generations. It's just what's going to happen. But there's still a lot of power that they have. Things like Brexit show that, because it's a nonsense. And now I couldn't even buy a suit for Saturday because of Brexit. Don't get me started. Yeah, there's no stock anywhere because of Brexit. But who voted for it? Ignorant, older, middle class British people that didn't really understand what they were doing or what they were voting for, in my opinion. So, but eventually they're going to be dead and gone, and we're going to have to live with the consequences, and our kids are going to have to live with the consequences. But luckily, our children, we're accepted a bit more.
Do you feel like there is a bit more of a progressive voice regarding, multiculturalism over here? Like, again, you can obviously tell, like, I'm from like the other side of the pond, you guys call it, and racism is quite rampant. And when I came here watching television over here, you have way more people on commercials that are black or colored or things like that, and it's very multicultural based, where I was actually quite shocked with the amount of black people I saw on TV and in commercials.
Yeah, I remember you
based
said.
on...
I am going to sound a bit negative. I'm still watching to see if it's a trend.
Like, is it just because of the Black Lives Matter thing that they just threw that in there?
Are we just in fashion? I don't know. Maybe we are. Maybe they have seen. But honestly, the majority of me thinks we're just in fashion right now. It's just cool, which is fine. But again, this is what I'm saying. The conversation needs to be had amongst us. I'm not being funny, but the reason why feminism or female empowerment or whatever it is you want to call it, women are not doing all what they're doing to get equal rights or whatever your personal fight would be as a feminist. No, they're not doing that because men are helping them. They're doing that because they're coming together. And do you know what I mean? When something happens in other communities, they come together and they lobby together and they make stuff happen. Where, in my opinion...
But is that because, again, and this might sound a bit bad, but is that because it's like white women are the face of that, of feminism?
Maybe, but at the same time, it doesn't mean that they're not coming together.
True.
If it's just white women coming together and making a movement that other women benefit from, the fact is white women are coming together. It's not white men saying, okay, you women can now come through. But we're waiting for, essentially, as black people, we're waiting for white men to say, okay, yeah, it's cool, you lot come through. So we've been waiting for, say, football. And I know it's easier said than done. I might get some stick for it, but black players make majority of the Premier League. All the main big stars, they come from like...
In all sports.
This is what I'm saying. But they'll complain that racism is not taken seriously within the Premier League and blah, 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 blah. I'm not being funny, but if I go to someone's house and they're making monkey chants, what am I going to do? I'm going to leave. I'm going to go back to my own house. Or if I haven't got my own house, I'm going to get my own house and go and live there. Whereas we're not going to do that. We'll prefer to go play for the big money in the Premier League and make them even more money, even though they don't give two shits about what's affecting us. And not to whether you want to argue that they're racist or they're just about the money or whatever, then until it affects their pocket, they're not going to do nothing. So until players stop playing in the Premier League, they're not going to do nothing. And until we stop doing certain things like buying certain products or living up to certain stereotypes by rapping about certain music or playing certain roles in TV and movies and all the rest of it, nothing's going to change. It's just going to be the same. So yeah, I feel like the conversation, I've said it a few times, the conversation needs to be had amongst us, and we need to do for ourselves. Only we can save us, which is the tagline for Nate, by the way.
So how would that conversation start? What would be said? How would you start that conversation?
Me personally, it's a long conversation. I feel like I've been having that conversation. I feel like 90% of the reason why I started a business was because of that conversation. Like we can do more together than we can do as individuals. So we can show our kids as well. Because I'm getting older now. It's not. I may or may not see it in my lifetime. There's more chance of my son seeing it in his lifetime. But the only way he's gonna be able to start is if I can give him the same opportunities that Tommy in his year group's gonna have when he leaves school. Do you see what I'm saying? So Tommy may be white, middle class, and his dad owns a business that he can take over, and like Thomas. So,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? So I'm trying to give him that opportunity to be able to be like, you can go and do this, or at least show him that it's possible.
But it's obviously
My son doesn't remember me going to work. We had I've had a job since he's been born. Like I used to work every hour that God sent in his lifetime, but he doesn't remember that. He only remembers coming to Dad's office during the holidays to help make content and all the rest of it. He sees that it's possible.
Yeah.
But there's too many kids like him that think nah, you can't own it's impossible to own a business.
But is that also part of the conversation that we kind of need to have, that, you know, and obviously, I'm obviously not from here, but like the civil rights movement was only like, 50, 60 years ago,
Yeah.
right? So we've never had that ability to have businesses and to create that old money where we have that system in place, for generation to generation, that you can hand down wealth. Like, we're literally starting now. We're creating that generational, that start now. Like, we are starting that going forward, whereas, obviously people of other colors and white, whatever, they have generations. They can go back. My great-great-granddad had this house that he's passed down, and he had this field that we broke up into 6 different plots, We're only starting right now at the bottom and creating that.
And that's what I'm saying, but we have to start. So I think that's where, to answer your question, that's where the conversation needs to be had, that, we're decades and in some cases centuries behind. So we need to start. And with the internet being the way it is, and the world being the way it is, and it being open, and you got digital currencies, cryptocurrency, NFTs, metaverse, and the whole world, like there is a paradigm shift happening. And we can either get serious right now and do something for ourselves, or we can sit back and wait to be handed something. I know which one I think is better.
I'm ready to go and get it.
Yeah, let's go get it. But yeah, man. Anyway, thank you for listening, watching. Go back and watch the first episode, which is an introduction, telling you how we got started at Car Buying Guru, tell you how my journey started with Car Buying Guru. Next week, we're going to talk about the app, which we're working on, the Car Buying Guru app. It's actually out, so if you want to get a preview of that, or if you're listening to this way after November 2021, I forgot what month it was, go onto the App Store, go onto Google Play, download the Car Buying Guru app. Listen back to the old episode, like I said. Tune in for the new episode next week. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Callie, thank you for talking to me again.
Yeah.
We're going to get some guests as well. Comment or send us some DMs at Car Buying Guru UK if there's anything particular you want me to talk about. You can also shout me directly at Mr. Gavin Cameron on Instagram. That's about it. Callie, see you soon.